Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel of Conscious History, where we will unveil the hidden truths of the past. When you think of South Central Los Angeles, you can almost feel the warm sun filling up the streets. Picture kids shooting hoops on the court, wearing their favorite basketball jerseys. Neighborhoods hosting barbecues. Music is being played from passing cars, and graffiti art showcases the different areas. The sun reveals all colors present in every area, where every neighborhood has a story deeply connected with them. In South Central, colors aren't just shades, they're lifelines. They provide a canvas upon which a community paints its history, its struggles, and its triumphs. If you are familiar with our videos, we have dived into several colors, seeing them becoming symbols of identity, solidarity, and belonging. In this video, we're taking a look at the color orange, which is deeply connected to the Hoovers. The history of the Hoovers is a story about struggles, hardening and fighting against oppression. People who tried to make something of their own and their community's lives, and worked hard creating a safe space for their neighborhoods. If you like our content, like and subscribe to our channel or support us on conscioushistory.backme.org. And let's dive into an orange world deep in the history of the Hoovers. We start our history in the 1960s in South Central Los Angeles, where several ethnic minority neighborhoods had to face various challenges. Neighborhoods were facing racism, poverty, limited opportunities, and violence in their neighborhoods. In this period, individuals from the black community came together to start battling inequality and making the neighborhood feel safer for their community. One particular street where the black community decided enough is enough and came together was Hoover Street. Several different neighborhoods came together and decided to fight injustice as a collective force. On Hoover Street, a street between Vermont Avenue and Figueroa Street, there was a small group that united, called the Hoover Groovers. At the same time, many people in their neighborhood were holding on to the core principles of community revolution in progress, otherwise known as Crip. Some neighborhoods put Hoover first and became known as Hoover Crips, advocating for social justice and civil rights. When it comes to the origin of its history, it is important to note that the Hoover Crips did not come from, nor evolve from the Hoover Groovers. It was always about community revolution and progress, and the many injustices many were facing in black communities. In the 1960s, neighborhood groups disbanded to join the Black Power movement, most notably as part of the Black Panther Party, initially to protect black people from police brutality and corruption of the Los Angeles Police Department. But instead of focusing on fighting the system, youth gangs formed, which developed into rivalries between several areas and neighborhoods, which caused an increase of juvenile crime in South Central. Violence became crime, crime became murder, and with murder, there came revenge. This revenge became a chain reaction, fueling in a never-ending war between neighborhoods. In the 1970s, several neighborhoods chose different sides and wanted to be proud of their neighborhood that was so negatively portrayed by the media. They adopted a color that would showcase their love for their neighborhood, representing their background and showcasing respect. The Crips adopted the color blue, the Bloods adopted the color red, and the Hoovers, who had been present since the very beginning, adopted the color orange to showcase their love for their brotherhood and community. Before the neighborhood wars, the drugs, the violence, the drive-by shootings, you just had black communities holding on to core principles. They wanted to fight oppression and injustices many people in their beloved community were facing. During the mid-70s, the Hoovers formed an alliance with the West Side Crips. This alliance was formed since the core principles of these groups, where the Crips stood for community revolution and progress, were the same principles as what the Hoovers wanted.
A 19-year-old youth was killed and another man was seriously hurt in a gang fight over the weekend in East Los Angeles. Gang warfare is getting more serious and more...
As media coverage began to grow and put these newly established so-called gangs on the front page, the portrayal primarily spotlighted their negative traits rather than delving into the underlying motivation fueling their formation. This resulted in casting an overarching shadow upon all gangs. Because of this bad image, disaffected black youths were running to join a gang, not knowing the gangs were established to live this type of life. This caused gangs to grow like wildfire, with new sets of different gangs everywhere. With this growing, new rivalries arose, which resulted in a never-ending hatred. Rivalries started to grow between different areas and neighborhoods. The Hoover Crips would write tags like Hoover Groover blood removal on walls, showcasing that the groove term was always associated with the Hoovers and not specific to just one group or street. If you have seen our video about the Crips, we showcase that one of their founding members, Raymond Lee Washington, was murdered in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles. No suspects have been arrested, and Washington's murder remains largely a mystery. When there's a mystery, this usually follows in a couple of things: speculation and rumors. It is rumored that the East Side Crips held the Hoover Crips responsible for the mysterious murder of Washington. While the murder remains still a mystery, the rivalries and tension between the neighborhoods were growing and were set to detonate like a ticking time bomb.
Crips got this shit started. You know, they called it Crips because it meant community revolution and progress. Crips is about helping people, helping the community. But see, it's all twisted. The game is fucked up now. It's not like that no more.
When the bomb exploded and victims fell because of retaliation based on rumors, the hatred between neighborhoods reached a point where nothing was able to fix it no more. The Hoovers underwent a significant transformation and changed their name from Crips to Criminals. This change marked a shift in their identity, still proudly wearing the color orange and demanding respect from anyone who would not give it to them. Therefore, in some neighborhoods, the Hoovers became known as the Hoover Criminals, while in others they remained Hoover Crips, as these neighborhoods had been from the beginning. This because of the Hoover Crips not having beef with their Crip-set neighborhoods. By the 1980s, the Hoover Criminals were one of the most feared street gangs in South Central Los Angeles. During this time, the media, through movies, music, and extensive coverage, significantly contributed to the elevation of gang culture. This portrayal of gang life became highly marketable and increasingly visible to the public eye. The media spotlight on gang activities, especially the more negative ones, painted twisted pictures of reality. While it captured the sensational and often dangerous elements of gang life, these portrayals largely overlooked the deeper societal issues driving these circumstances. Known for the action they took for demanding their respect, the Hoover Criminals are still very present, and allies with all Hoover subsets, represented by the color orange and making their presence notable. This unity became very visible as people proudly displayed their affiliation to the Hoover Criminals. Wearing an orange bandana wearing orange football or baseball sport jerseys, caps imprinted with the letter H, and orange graffiti tags of Hoova or ACG on walls to represent their neighborhood. This all was a visual representation of their orange world. In this day and age, the Hoovers are still a very present establishment that had their orange growth reach far beyond the streets of South Central. They painted in shades of orange, but their deeper meaning of their painting was driven by a desire to ignite change within the community, when many felt like they were not being seen or treated unjust, to emerge as a beacon of hope, trying to be there for the community and uplift the neighborhood. In today's world, when you would look at video clips of rappers, scroll through social media, or see glimpses of the Hoover emoji, you have to understand that the origin of this establishment comes from the fact that the Hoovers wanted to change their own and their community's lives, wanting to be a positive change and helping as many people in overcoming oppression and struggles. Did you know about the history of the Hoovers? Are you familiar with Hoover Street, them wearing the color orange, or the term groove that has always been connected to them? Leave me your answers below in the comments, and if you like the content, like and subscribe to the channel, or support us on conscioushistory.backme.org. We love making these videos. See you next time at Conscious History.